Here's an example of a medical note from a doctor that can create serious problems for someone who receives it and who would like to return to work at some point in the near future when his medical leave is over and he feels healthy enough to go back and work fully or with some limitations. Let me first read this note and then explain what the big problem with this note is. So the note says, "To whom it may concern, Miss such and such is under my medical care. She cannot return to work indefinitely. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me." So the big problem with this note is the word indefinitely. And the problem is that under California law, an employer does not have to accommodate an employee who has a disability or medical condition indefinitely. There is no such obligation. If your employer has no idea when you're going to return, and more so, if your doctor says that you will be out on leave indefinitely, which presumes forever, the employer does not have to wait until you return. Now, your doctor does not know how these medical notes affect your workplace rights and your disability rights and any other legal rights that you might have at work. So you cannot expect your doctor to write your note perfectly and to simply take it and without looking at it, pass it to your employer. You need to know this very important point. Your note must have an expiration date if you want to go back to work at some point. Now you might ask, well, what if I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to return to work? That's fine. At least put an anticipated date of return. Maybe 2 months from now, maybe 3 months from now, maybe 6 months from now. At least have some date. And then, if by that time you're still not healthy enough to return to work, you can ask for an extension. As long as your note does not say indefinitely or forever, or it's not clear at all whether you will ever be able to work, as long as it doesn't contain that kind of vagueness, and it gives some kind of deadline for you to return to work, however approximate it might be, you will have rights. In many cases, you will be protected by disability laws and you will be allowed to return to work. And if your employer still decides to terminate you, you might have a legitimate case for wrongful termination and disability discrimination against them. However, if you provide your employer with this type of note that says that you will be out indefinitely, then you will have no rights. And if the employer terminates you right then and there, you have no case. Now, of course, if that's truly the case, if you will never be able to work and you will have to be out indefinitely, or at least you won't be able to perform the type of job that you did before your medical leave, then it's the reality, it's the truth. But if that's not the case, then your note should not be written this way. So the important things to know in summary are: the word indefinitely is really detrimental to your rights to return to work when you go on medical leave. And secondly, pay attention, look at your medical notes before you give them to your HR or your supervisor. Do not simply rely on your doctor to write everything perfectly and to do everything right from a legal standpoint. And if you're not sure whether your note can harm you as far as your workplace rights, your disability rights, run that note by an experienced employment attorney. Thank you.